Hello and good morning and good afternoon, everyone. So, good morning and good afternoon, everyone, because I have two sessions, so AM class and PM class. So, today is gonna be the continuation of the recipe class, yung uses and limitations. So, this will be the continuation of it because we are going to talk about conversion table, how are we going to do a market list category. So, ito yon. So, makikita nyo dito sa screen natin. Next is we have to know the standardized and the standard recipe itself. And I will teach you how to make the market list. And of course, not but not the least is how to make a standardized recipe aligned to the hotel and restaurants or kitchen operations or food establishment operations that are offering a large or small scale, or you can use this for your businesses. So to start with, I have here the measuring devices, measuring tools that are being used in the kitchen, especially if you are doing a standardized recipe. And most of the students nowadays ay nalilito sila sa paggamit ng tinatawag na mga measuring tools. So now, meron tayong measuring cup. So ito yung measuring cup natin. So these are the dried measuring cups. So ito yon. So meron tayong 1/4, meron tayong 1/3 cup, meron tayong 1/2 cup, and of course, the 1 cup. And another one, we have also a special tool, special measuring tool, which is a measuring cup for liquid. So ito yung ginagamit natin. So this has the same with the measuring cup. Meron siyang mga naka-engrave na numbers. Okay? Yung equivalency niya. And another one, so this measuring cup as well is merong mga naka-engrave na numbers para hindi tayo malito kung ano yung gagamitin natin. Another set of tool na meron ako is the measuring spoon. Okay, so we have measuring spoon as well. And ang nakakalungkot nito, some of the students actually don't know how to use the measuring spoon, the measuring cup for the liquid, and the measuring cup for the dry. So the same with all of these measuring tools, yung measuring spoon natin. So meron din siyang mga naka-engrave kung ilan yung tinatawag dito, yung pinaka equivalent na weight niya. So ito yon, measuring spoon. And another specific tool na ginagamit natin is what we call the digital weighing scale. So this digital weighing scale is very important because it can help the students, it can help the food production officers, food production employee to actually portion or scale kung ano man yung mga kailangang i-portion o kailangang i-weigh. Then, I have made ang isang system para sa mga estudyante na gagawa ng standardized recipe. But this exercise actually is important for them para magkaroon sila ng idea ano nga ba talaga yung differences ng mga measuring devices at measuring tools natin. So dito, I had made what we call conversion table. So this is what we call the conversion table. Most of the conversion table nowadays, or dito sa Philippine setup, ang ginagamit natin is US metric. At ito, yung mga conversion tables, okay? Yung mga conversion metrics natin na normal na ginagamit. So we have the small letter T, the big letter T, the C, the OZ, the LB, the kilograms or the kg, the GMS, the L, okay, the ML, the PT, the gallon, and the QT. So, I have made this table para hindi malito yung mga estudyante. What could be the conversion table kung anong tawag sa kanila. So, we have there the teaspoon. So, ito, meron tayo. And this is the cursor. Sundan lang natin yung cursor natin. So, mamaya para ma-explain ko kung paano ba talaga gagawin yung assignment natin later on. Then, we have what we call tablespoon. And we have the cup. the ounces, the pound, the kilogram, the grams, the liter, milliliter, the pint, the gallons, and the quarts. So most of the time, sabi ko nga, it's easier for us if we are going to convert all of our ingredients in grams or in liter or milliliter or kilograms or liter. So tingnan natin mamaya dun sa example natin para makita natin on how easy it is for you to understand kung ano ba talaga yung ginagamit natin at ginagawa natin to form what we call market list. Okay, so gagawa tayo ng market list and to form our standard recipe and to form our standardized recipe. So marami-rami to. Marami-rami to. I hope you are going to stay with me. Okay, students, of course, you have to remember that recipe conversion has limitation. So not all ingredients are the same in density and volume. So that's why we have different measuring tools and devices being used in the kitchen. So you need to use the weighing scale. So ito yun. For your correct measurement. So ang paggamit ng weighing scale, most of the time, ang student nagkakamali because ang gagawin nila is ipapatong nila sa weighing scale. Hindi nila alam na itong pinatong nila sa weighing scale ay meron pang bigat, meron pang weigh yan. So, always remember that you are going to tear. Okay? Isi-zero mo yung weighing scale natin para hindi kasama yung timbang nang nilagay mo dun sa weighing scale. And that's the time na saka ka pa lang maglalagay ng ingredients to get the correct measurement. So, lagi nyo pong tatandaan yan. Another example is this. Yung, halimbawa, we have dry ingredients. So, lagi nyo tatandaan, the dry ingredient is different. Okay? Different from the liquid ingredient. So, what do I mean by different? So, yung different siya in terms of the volume, in terms of the weight itself. So, dito, sa example ko, yung 1 cup of rye, 1 cup of flour is not equivalent to 240 grams. As you can see on this conversion table. So, gumawa ako ng conversion table. So, for example, yung 1 teaspoon natin is equal to 5 ml equals to 5 grams. Yung 1 tablespoon is equal to 15 ml to 15 grams. 1 cup is equals to 16 tablespoon, 8 ounces, 240 grams, 240 ml. So, 1 pint is 2 cups, 16 ounces, 480 grams, 480 ml. 1 gallon is equals to 4 quarts, 16 cups, and 8 pint. So, 1 liter is equals to 1.06 quart or 1,000 ml, and 1 kilos is equal, or 1 kilo is equals to 1,000 grams or 2.2 pounds. And 1 pound naman is equals to 480 grams and 16 ounces naman yung 480 grams. And 1 ounce is equivalent to 28 grams approximately, but sometimes some people may use about 28.9 or 29 or 30 grams. But normally, 1 ounce is 28 grams. So, 1 gram naman is 0.1001 kilo or 1 ml. So, itong conversion table natin, okay, sometimes ito ay applicable, sometimes it is not applicable. So, lagi natin tatandaan, ang measuring cup natin na dalawa, from dry and liquid, is totally different. So, you cannot use it both at the same time. So, if the recipe calls for a dry measuring cup, you are going to use a dry measuring cup. If a recipe calls for a liquid measuring cup, you are going to use a liquid measuring cup. So, sometimes, ginagamit naman itong liquid at itong dry measuring cup kapag mga maliliit lang, okay, yung mini-measure natin. So, meron din tayong mga rules and limitation when it comes to this. Kasi, some of or most of the time, yung measuring cup natin ay tawag dito, ay may conversion in ml. So, for example, itong 1/4 cup natin dito, so meron siyang conversion na 60 ml. So, itong 60 ml na to, ito naman, yung 1/3 cup natin, may conversion siya na 80 ml. And 1/2 cup naman natin, may conversion siya na 120 ml. Okay? And ang 1 cup naman natin, may conversion siya na 240 ml. At iyon ay makikita nyo dito sa conversion table natin. Ito, yung 1 cup to 240 grams, 240 ml. But, always, as always, lagi natin tatandaan na itong mga grams na to, okay, ay siniset aside natin. Because yung conversion natin, when it comes to this, is always on milliliter. Okay? It's always on milliliter. The same with the measuring spoon. It's on to the milliliter. Nakuha po ba? So, again, ito yung mga note na kailangan nating isaalang-alang, that the way of a dry ingredient is totally different. Okay? Kunyari, nag-weigh ka dito ng 1/4 cup of flour, kapag tinimbang mo siya dito, hindi siya parehas. Hindi siya 60 grams. Okay? Hindi siya 60 grams. To get the accurate weight, all you have to do is to measure, okay, the 1/4 cup of flour is to measure it on the weighing scale. So, tandaan natin, so if we are dealing with the bakery science, so kung mag-baking tayo, ang kailangan natin is accurate weigh of the ingredients. Okay? So, ito yung conversion table natin. Ayan. So, mamaya, magagamit natin to sa ating exercises. Next is what we call market list category. Ano ba yung market list category na tinatawag? We have what we call categories. So, this is, itong categories na to. Categories. So, this is your market list details to identify. So, ano ba yung mga market list details na kailangan yung identify? So, kapag tayo ay namamalengke, okay, at kapag tayo ay may isang recipe at gagawin natin yung recipe na yun, kailangan natin gumawa ng tinatawag na market list. Okay? Pero, bago ka makagawa ng market list, kailangan alamin mo muna kung ano yung category ng market list na yun. Okay? So, 1, we have what we call meat, seafood, shellfishes. So, this is our protein products. So, yung may pork tayo, may chicken tayo, may beef tayo, may shellfish, seafood items. So, it can either be fresh or frozen. So, next is the market forms. Ano ba yung mga market forms na tinatawag? Ito ba ay cutlets? Ito ba ay whole? Ito, makikita nyo dyan. Ito ba ay ground? Ito ba ay fillet? Or bone-in or etc. Depende so kung ano ang iyong bibilhin. So, ito yung protein market list natin. So, meron tayong meat, may seafood tayo, at may shellfishes. Another one is what we call starch. Ito yung isang category natin. So, ang category na starch natin is any of your grain that contains starch. And you have flour, you have starch, you have breadcrumbs, or other related ingredients which starch, cornstarch, and many more. So, marami tayong starch na yan. Next is what we call fruits, vegetable, and nuts. So, fresh or frozen. So, we have different kinds of fresh and fruits and vegetables available in the market. So, if the recipe, nakita mo doon, may fruits and vegetables siya. So, automatic, isa sa category ng market list mo, merong mga vegetables. Okay? So, fresh vegetables ilalagay mo doon. Next, bottles or cans. So, may ingredients tayong binibili na nakabote tsaka nakakan. And another one is what we call the packed items, sachet, or the dry ingredients. So, ingredients that are bought in packages or sachet. For example, ano na ba to? Yung mga, kunyari may nakita ka, Magic Sarap, isang sachet. So, meron nun. Okay? Tapos, meron kang mga Ajinomoto, for example, the MSG. So, meron nakapack. Meron mga pepper na nakapack sa sachet. Meron mga dry ingredients. Ano ba yung mga dry ingredients natin? Sample is the sugar. So, we have different kinds of sugar. So, kailangan ilalagay natin siya dun sa mga packed or dry ingredients. Another category that we have in the market list is what we call fresh and dried herbs or spices. So, any of the following. So, ito yung category natin. Next is dairy and eggs. So, this is such milk, okay, cheeses, yogurts. We have a lot of eggs. We have white, brown, yung mga native eggs natin. And we have also red eggs or salted eggs. Next on the category na meron tayo when it comes to the market list is what we call miscellaneous items or consumables. So, not only ingredients are being allotted or written up into the market list, but you are going to write also these miscellaneous items or consumables. So, kung kailangan mo ng cling wrap, kailangan mo ng parchment paper, kailangan mo ng toothpick, okay? And kailangan mo ng any other miscellaneous or non-food item, it is also written on your market list. So, ano ba ang nagagawa ng categories na to? Ayan. Ano ba yung nagagawa ng categories na yan? Nagagawa ng categories na yan is for you to identify your recipe and for you to familiarize your ingredient. Kasi kung may category siya, may sub-items ka, madali mong malalaman kung ano ba talaga yung bibilhin mo sa market. Hindi yung nanghuhula ka. Okay? So, next is, sige, gagawa naman tayo ng tinatawag na standard recipe. Tapos, from the standard recipe, gagawa tayo ng market list details based on the categories na meron tayo. Okay. So, napag-aralan natin yung standard recipe. So, in this section, okay, itong standard recipe na to, in this section, you have to write your chosen recipe and make it on a standard form. So, ginawa ko tong system na to in Excel. For example, itong conversion table. Conversion table is for you to look at kung ano ba talaga yung magiging converted na equivalency ng kanyang way. So, ito, hindi mo siya ma-edit. So, it is locked. Okay? All you have to do is to look onto it para hindi magbago o walang changes na magagawa. So, the same with the market list category. So, wala kang magagawa yan. So, kahit mag-click ka dyan kahit saan. So, wala kang mababago. So, all you have to do is to look for it and this will be your guide. Another one, so ito yung conversion table guide mo. Ito yung market list guide mo. Next is the standard recipe. So, for you to be able to make a standard recipe, all you have to do is to look for an example ng standard recipe in the internet o kaya in the magazines or newspaper o meron kang recipe na gusto mo, okay, na gagawin mo na standardized. Lalagyan natin ng presyo, lalagyan natin ng selling price. Gawin natin sa standard form. Okay. So, ang ginawa kong example is salted caramel, cashew banana bread. So, chef, saan ko ba nakuha to? So, simple lang. Nagpunta ako sa internet. Okay. So, sinearch ko yung salted caramel cashew banana bread. So, ito yung lumabas. Okay. So, as you go along, okay, makikita mo yung mga recipe na yan. Meron tayong mga ingredients, meron tayong mga procedures. So, paano mo gagawin yon? So, ganito lang yan. So, tingnan natin. So, browse. Okay. So, this is the salted caramel cashew banana bread. So, nakalagay dyan yung prep time, yung cooking time, total time in hours, the cuisine itself, and how many servings. So this is 12 serving. Approximately, this is only 1 loaf. Nakuha? O 12 slices to. So this is only 1 loaf. Now, we have the ingredients. So ito yung ingredients natin. Now, we are going to transpose, okay, this recipe sa ating system. So, paano yan? So, isulat natin. So, cashew, banana bread. So, ilang serving? Number of servings is 1 loaf. Okay, approximately 12 slices. Ayan. So, 1 loaf na yan. Next is, kopyahin natin yung ingredients niya. Okay, so we have to make it standard. So, kopyahin natin. So, how are we going to copy it? Simple lang. Okay, so you can use copy and paste, or you can type it manually. You can type it individually. So, ito na yon. So, ito yung mga ingredients na kinopya natin. So, as is yan. So, as is yung mga ingredients na yan. At tinranspose natin, o nilipat natin dito. Ayan. And after na malipat mo siya dito, ang gagawin mo naman ay kukunin mo naman yung procedures niya. Now, yung procedures natin, okay, ito yung procedures natin. Procedures natin is, ilipat mo siya sa madaling maintindihan. Okay? Madali mo siyang maintindihan. Kasi, ang procedures, base dun sa mga lesson natin, is supposed to be a step by step. Okay? So, ito yung example ng procedures natin. So, once you are writing the procedures, you will know all the details of the recipe itself. Okay? So, nakuha po ba? So, now, na-transpose na natin. So, nailipat na natin sa ating standard recipe card. So, the same with the conversion table, the market list category, yung standard recipe card natin. So, pwede nyong baguhin to. So, this one is editable. So, burahin mo lang siya. Pero, yung ibang section dito, hindi mo siya makiklik. So, like this, hindi mo siya makiklik, hindi mo siya mababago. Ang kaya mo lang baguhin is yung mga detailed na portion na pwede mong mabago. So, like this. Okay? So, yan. So, pwede mong baguhin kung ilan to. So, i-type mo lang kung ilan siya. So, probably 3, 4, or whatever. So, depende kung ano yung magiging transposition from sa kinuha mong recipe. Halimbawa, ito yung sa akin. Tapos, ililipat mo siya dito sa Excel format. Okay? So, once na lilipat mo na sa Excel format, itong recipe natin, naging standard recipe na siya. Gagawa naman tayo ang tinatawag na market list. So, ano na yung market list? Okay, what is your market list category? So, ito daw yan. List all down, okay, and look at the market list category. How much is the actual price and what is the unit of the particular purchase item? Okay, so itong part na to, yan, itong price and unit of measures, hahanapin natin yung presyo ng mga nandito sa category na to. So, tingnan natin. So, for example, itong standard recipe natin, tingnan natin. So, meron tayong starch. Okay? Kasi meron tayong all-purpose flour. So, ang sulat natin dito, we have what we call starch. So, meron tayong lahat ng starch na yon. So, meron tayong all-purpose flour. Another is, meron tayong dry ingredients, which is baking soda. So, meron tayong dry. Okay, so market list natin. So, meron tayong dry, which is baking soda. So, type natin dito. Meron tayong salt. Meron tayong butter. Okay, so yung example natin. So, ang gagawin talaga natin is iisa-isahin talaga natin yung mga details na nandito. So, meron tayong, for example, meron tayong butter. Okay, yung market list natin. So, kung may dry tayo dyan, meron tayong dairy and eggs, halimbawa. Dairy and eggs. So, meron tayong fresh milk. Okay, ito. At meron tayong eggs. Ayan. So, ngayon, So, kung nagawa na natin yan, for example, meron din tayong fruits, isama na natin. So, meron tayong bananas. Okay. Yung bananas na ripe. Now, the thing is, aalamin natin kung magkano yung presyo ng bawat isang category. Kasi, kailangan nating malaman at kailangan nating gumawa ng market list para pag nilipat natin siya, okay, sa standardized recipe, makikita natin kung magkano yung presyo na hinahanap natin. Okay? So, for example, yung market list natin ng all-purpose flour. Chef, paano ako makakakuha ng example ng price ng all-purpose flour? So, madali lang. So, punta na tayo sa Google. Punta tayo sa kahit anong supermarket app. So, pwede tayong tumingin sa Robinsons, halimbawa. Robinsons Supermarket. Yan. So, let's go with the Robinsons Supermarket. So, hanapin natin. So, estimated. Tingnan natin. Estimated location. Okay. Robinsons Supermarket. Punta tayo. Tapos, enter tayo ng anong barangay. Ako ay taga Manggahan, for example. Manggahan. Pasig. So, wala. Tingnan natin. Municipality. Pasig. Yan. Pasig, Buting, Kanyogan, Manggahan. Okay, use this location, for example. Yan. So, hahanap tayo. I'm searching for. So, accept cookies muna tayo. Okay. So, hahanap tayo ng ating products. All products. Search in store. Halimbawa ay all-purpose flour. So, tingnan natin. So, dito, makakakita tayo ng all-purpose flour. So, halimbawa, ito nakita natin. 235 per 2 kilos. Okay? So, 235 per 2 kilos. Ito naman ay, ilan ba ito? 34 pesos per 200 grams. So, ito, sige, kunin natin to. 34 pesos per 200 grams. So, pag nilipat natin yan dito, kukunin natin yung 34 pesos, type natin. Tapos, ang unit of measure niya ay 200. Okay? 200 grams. Okay? 34 pesos sa 200 grams. So, nagagawa tayo ng ito per 200 grams. Ayan. So, ito yung nakita nating presyo. So, base dito sa supermarket. So, another one is baking soda. So, hanap tayo ng baking soda. For example, baking soda. Yan. So, loading. So, tingnan natin kung meron. Yan. Okay. Meron tayong 1650 per 125 grams. Ito yung 125. Ito yung presyo natin. So, 1650 per 125 grams. Ayan, yung unit of measures natin. Dairy and eggs. Magkano ba yung fresh milk? So, hanap tayo ng fresh milk natin. Magkano? Tingnan natin. Okay, so fresh milk natin is, magkano yung pinakamura? 96. So, pwede kayong humanap ng ibang presyo. So, kung akin ay 96, okay, kunin ko to. 96 per 1 liter. Lalagay ko dito. It's 96 pesos per 1 liter. Okay? Ayan. So, ito naman, yung eggs natin. So, tingnan natin yung eggs kung magkano per piece. So, ganito lang po maghanap pa. Or, kung alam mo naman sa market, for example, alam mo sa market, hindi tayo titingin dito. Alam natin kung magkano yung isang itlog sa market. Halimbawa, 8 pesos per piece. So, tingnan natin. So, 8 pesos per 1 piece. Halimbawa, ayan, 8 pesos per 1 piece. Ayan, yung banana naman. Halimbawa, magkano ba yung banana sa market? Tingnan natin. Sana meron si Robinsons. Yun, may fresh banana tayo. Fresh banana, 202. So, kunin natin to. approximate weight. Ito na lang, 104 per 1,000 grams. So, that's 1 kilo. Okay? So, based dito sa market list category natin, o dun sa conversion, yung kilo natin, yung 1 kilo is equals to 1,000 grams. So, tingnan natin. Market list is 104, halimbawa, per 1 kilo. Ayan. And so on and so forth. So, kapag nasulat mo na itong standard recipe mo, okay, itong mga ingredients mong to, ang gagawin mo, ililipat mo dito, gagawa ka ng category niya. So, ikaw na mag-format, gawin mong ikaw na mag-format niyan. So, kung paano yung category na yan. Then, and next mo is itatranspose naman o kukunin mo yung prices ng bawat item na yan. So, kung ang price nito ay 34 pesos per 200 grams. Yung isa naman, baking soda, 16 pesos, 16.50 per 125 grams. So, ang next mo naman, kapag nakompleto mo na to, ang next mo ay gagawin mo naman siya na standardized. So, para malaman natin kung ano yung presyo ng bibilhin natin. So, standardized naman tayo. So, name of recipe natin. So, ilipat natin dito. Ito yung recipe natin. Kunin natin marketplace. Itong standard recipe natin. So, copy natin to. Tapos, punta tayo sa standardized recipe. Then, we paste it. Ayaw magpa-paste. Ayaw. So, sulat natin. Baguhin ko na lang sa pag pinasa ko sa inyo. So, meron tayong cashew banana bread, for example. Okay. Ang quantity natin, so, ilan yung sa standard recipe natin? 1 loaf. Okay. So, 1. Lagay natin dito. And unit of measure is what we call loaf. Okay. So, ang gagawin naman natin is you have to insert the picture ng recipe na yon. So, for example, itong salted caramel. So, kunin natin itong picture na to. Example, so we have to copy the image, then we paste the image. So, na yan. Ayaw. So, tingnan muna natin. Tingnan natin sa Word kung kaya. Masyado sigurong malaki. Titingnan natin. Wrap text, send behind text. So, copy. Then, we paste it. Ayan. So, paste natin. So, sometimes, hindi siya mag-paste kasi malaki siya. So, papaliitin natin. Masyadong malaki yung text. So, kailangan i-transfer natin sa Word para magawa natin. So, ang sabi dito, insert about 2 to 3 pictures of the product. So, hanap tayo ng iba pang picture. Ito, for example, so we have copy image. Halimbawa lang ito, ha. Then, we paste. Wrap text. Then, we send it behind para ma-edit natin. So, from the top, okay, so we just go it down. Yan. So, ito, ginagawa natin is, magagawa naman natin to kapag yung original recipe niya na. Pero for the sample, okay, ito muna yung sample natin. Pag original recipe na, so iba na. So, ayan. So, tingnan natin. So, edit muna natin. So, ito yung banana bread natin na dalawang picture. Okay, so all goods na tayo dyan. Next is, so save natin. Okay, next is, kukumpletuhin naman natin to. Doon sa lesson natin, okay, na recipes and its uses, nabanggit natin yung tinatawag na edible portion, tsaka yung as purchase portion. Yung as purchase, ito yung items coming from your market list. So, ito yung market list natin. Next one is yung edible portion. Ito naman yung items natin na coming from the converted measures. So, ano yung converted measures na yan? So, mamaya, okay, so gagawin natin yung conversion measure na tinatawag. So, kopyahin muna natin. So, for example, meron tayong all-purpose flour. Okay, so ito yung all-purpose flour natin. So, standardized recipe, market list details. Ito yung standard natin. So, all-purpose flour, copyhin natin to. So, copy. Paste natin dito yung ingredients natin. Okay. Ito yung all-purpose flour natin. Okay. Ang unit of measure from the standard recipe natin is 2 cups. Okay. So, nakalagay doon. So, lagay natin is 2 cups. Now, for the sake of, okay, for the sake of this activity, gagamitin natin yung tinatawag na conversion table. Pero sa totoong buhay, kapag ginawa natin yung 2 cups, so gagamit tayo nitong 2 cups na to. At para malaman natin yung accurate weight ng all-purpose flour, kailangan natin gumamit ng ng weighing scale. So yung 2 cups ng all-purpose flour, i-measure natin sa weighing scale para makuha natin yung accurate weight niya. Kasi 'di ba, sabi nga natin, paulit-ulit sabi natin, from yung flour, okay, lahat ng dry ingredients, hindi porke na sinabi dito sa conversion table natin na yung 1 cup is equivalent to 240 ml and 240 grams, yun na yung susundin natin. So, iba ang sukat, iba ang density, iba ang volume. So, kailangan nating sukatin siya sa weighing scale. So, yun ang kailangan natin gawin. But for the sake of this activity, ang gagawin nating paraan ay kukunin natin yung nasa conversion table. So, tingnan natin. So, 1 cup is equivalent to 240 grams. So, i-convert natin. So, dalawa is equals to 480 grams. So, yung quantity natin, so, magiging 480 at magiging grams siya. So, from cups, ginawa natin grams. So, bakit natin ginawang grams? Yun yung unit of measure natin. Sabi ko nga kanina, mas madaling mag-convert kapag parehas sila. Okay? Kapag parehas sila ng unit of measure. Now, para makompleto natin to, kailangan natin makuha yung tinatawag na unit price. So, yung process note natin, description, action, this is coming from the original measure of the recipe. So, ito yon, original measure yan. Yun yung 2 cups. And another one, sabi dito, may process notes na tinatawag. Ito yung description or action. So, ano bang gagawin mo sa kanya? So, based dun sa standard recipe natin, kung babasahin natin tong procedure na to, okay, kailangan natin na i-sift, for example, yung all-purpose flour natin. So, naglalagay tayo dito para mas madaling maintindihan. So, we have to sift, tapos reserve. Okay, sift na lang. Ayan. Sift the flour. Okay, so sift the flour. Para alam natin. So, ito yung notes natin. Anong gagawin mo sa all-purpose flour? You have to weigh 2 cups, pero isi-sift mo yung flour. Okay. Next, ano yung unit price? Ang unit price naman is what we call the as purchase price. Ito yung mismong binili mo sa palengke. So, sabi nga natin, hindi ka makakabili ng 480 grams lang sa palengke. Nakuha? Or sa supermarket. So, it's either makabili ka ng mas konti yung weigh niya or mas makamura ka dahil bibili ka ng madami. So, ang unit price niya, so titingnan natin yung market list. Ang market list niya is 34 pesos per 200 grams. So, yun. So, 34 pesos per 200. Anong unit of measure? Grams. So, kailangan parehas to at parehas yun. Nakuha? So, paano lang natin malalaman na ang tamang presyo ay ang tamang way ay nandoon sa what we call original measure. So, ito yan. Ito yung weight niya. So, automatic, the system will calculate how much could be the unit cost and how much would be the extension cost. Ang unit cost, kung magkano yung presyo nito. Okay? Per 200 grams, magkano ang presyo nito. So, how are you going to compute it? It's unit price over the AP quantity. So, ito yung AP, yung as purchased quantity. Ang lalabas doon is yung unit cost natin. Now, yung unit cost natin, para malaman natin how much could be the extension cost, i-multiply natin doon sa edible portion. Kasi ayun yung ginamit natin. O now, chef, nalilito ako kasi parang ang liit, kulang yung binili ko. Ito, halimbawa, kulang yung binili ko. So, ibig sabihin nun, bibili ka pa ng mas marami kasi kulang. Nakuha? So, dito, 480 grams. Dito, 200 grams. So, hindi ka bibili ng 200 grams lang. Bibili ka ng marami. So, anong purpose nito? So, kailangan humanap ka ng mas marami ang quantity. So, balik tayo dito. So, hanap tayo ng all-purpose flour na per kilo ang labanan. Tingnan natin. Magkano ang per kilo o magkano ang per 2 kilo. So, tingnan natin. Ayan. So, meron tayong per kilo. So, ito, 94 pesos per kilo. So, kunin natin tong 94 pesos per kilo. So, balik tayo dito. Palitan natin. Gawin natin 94 pesos per kilo. So, i-convert natin yung kilo kasi ang nakalagay dito, kilogram, 1 kilo is equals to 1,000 grams. So, tingnan natin. 1 kilo is equals to 1,000 grams. So, 1,000 grams dapat to. 1,000 grams. Kasi nga, sabi natin, mas madaling i-convert kapag parehas sila ng unit. So, wag kang magbabago ng unit. So, dapat parehas ang unit mo. So, ngayon, yung market list natin, so, babaguhin natin, gagawing 94 pesos per 1 kilo. So, magiging 1 to. Ito, magiging 1 kilo. Okay? So, this 1 kilo ay mababago kasi gagawin na nating grams. Ako, ha? So, ito po yun. 94 pesos per 1,000 kilo. 94 nga, yun. 94 pesos per 1,000 kilo. So, now, or 1,000 grams. Sorry. Now, next. Next natin, ano yung susunod natin? Tingnan natin. Baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So, lalagay natin dito. So, we have baking soda. Ang nakalagay doon sa original measure natin, yung process notes natin, para matandaan natin, is 1 teaspoon. Okay? Yung 1 teaspoon na yon. Okay? Ang 1 teaspoon, sabi nga natin, di ba? Kapag dry, iba ang sukat ng dry. Ang sukat na nakalagay dito is ml. Okay? So, kapag nilagyan natin to ng liquid, ang measure na makukuha natin is 15 ml. Ngayon, kung dry yon, kailangan nating gamitan ulit ng weighing scale para makuha natin yung eksaktong amount. So, since wala tayong example and for the sake of exercise, katulad ng sinasabi ko kanina, pupunta tayo dito sa conversion table natin. So, yung 1 teaspoon natin, ang equivalency niya ay 5 grams. So, pupunta tayo sa standardized recipe. Lalagyan natin dito ng 5. Lalagyan natin dito ng 5 grams. Ngayon, magkano ang price? So, pupunta tayo sa market list. Okay? Hanapin natin ng price, 16.50. Lalagyan natin 16.5 per, magkano siya? Market list ulit. 125 grams. So, 125 grams. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin nito, yung 5 grams na ginamit natin, ang presyo nun ay 0.66 cents. Okay? Or 66 cents. Yun ang presyo niya. Yung presyo ng 480 grams na ginamit natin na all-purpose flour. Ang presyo nun ay 45.12 peso. Okay, so ipagpatuloy natin, tingnan natin. Kahit kumuha tayo ng 4 na ingredient from the example. So meron tayong ano yung market list natin dito. Milk. Okay, punta tayo sa milk. Lagay natin dito. Milk. So fresh milk. Meron tayong fresh milk. Ilan yung ginamit natin sa standard recipe na fresh milk? Tingnan natin. 1/3 cup. So, lagyan natin dito. 1/3 cup. Okay? Of fresh milk. So, ang 1/3 cup, okay, ang 1/3 cup, pag kinuha natin sa conversion table, nakuha, ito yung conversion table natin, yung 1 cup na to. Okay, sa dito, okay, ang 1/3 cup natin, ang lalabas dyan ay 80 ml. Okay? 80 ml. So, meron tayong 60, 80, 120, yung 1/2, and 240, yung 1 cup. So, 240, 1 cup, 1/2 cup, kalahatiin natin. So, that's 120. Pag kinalahati mo, magiging 1/4. So, that's 60. Okay? Pero pag ginawa mong 1/3, so that is 80 ml. So, 80 ml ang ilalagay natin dito. So, ang standard size natin, standard measure natin is 80. Lagay natin dito is ml kasi yun yung 1/3 cup. So, malaking bagay ito kasi from the original recipe, alam natin kung ilan yung i-convert natin doon sa edible portion. So, ito yon. So, 80, 1/3 cup. So, ang unit price ngayon nito, tingnan natin sa market list. 96 per liter. So, 1 liter is equals to 1,000 ml. So, 96. So, gawin natin. 96. Gawin natin tong per 1,000 ml. So, magkano siya? So, yung 80 ml na fresh milk, ang presyo nun ay 7.68 pesos. So, kuha pa tayo ng isa. Market list, eggs naman. Yan natin dito. So, kailangan natin ng eggs. For example, ilang eggs ang kailangan sa standard recipe? Sabi doon, 2 pieces ng eggs. So, lalagay tayo, 2 pieces. Whole eggs. Okay. So, lagay natin dito, 2. Tapos, piraso. Tapos, magkano yung isa doon sa market list natin? I think 8 pesos. 8 pesos a piece. Okay. So, 8 per 1 piece. Ayan. So, 2 kailangan natin. So, times 8. Okay. So, that's 16 pesos. Okay. So, ito na. Na-compute niya na. Next, ano yung susunod natin ay, sa market list natin ay bananas. So, kuha tayo dito. So, anong ginawa ng banana? Okay. Yung bananas natin or banana ay ilang piraso? Natin sa standard recipe, 4 na piraso. Okay. So, lalagay natin dito is 4 pieces. So, ripe banana. Nakalagay dun sa recipe. So, meron tayong tinatawag na approximate weight. So, for example, nakuha natin yung 4 pieces na banana. 4 pieces. So, i-weigh natin siya. Ilan ba siya? Okay? So, kunyari, lumabas siya na 260 grams. Halimbawa, yung 4 na piraso. Ay, sorry. Iba pala ito. Okay? Halimbawa, yung 4 na piraso ay lumabas na 260 grams. Okay? Ayan. Tapos, yung market list natin, 104 in 1,000 grams. So, 104 sa 1,000 grams. So, yung 4 na pirasong banana with approximate weight of 260, nagkakahalaga siya ng 27.04 pesos. Ako, ha? So, and so on and so forth hanggat sa makumpleto natin. Kapag nakumpleto na natin yon, ito na yung standardized recipe natin. Pag nakumpleto na natin yon, ang lalabas ngayon dyan is yung total amount. Ano yung total amount na yan? Ito yung total amount, which is 96.50. Okay? 96.50. So, add all the extension cost. Ito yung all extension cost natin. So, 96.50 yan. Tapos, meron tayong tinatawag na 10% contingency. Ano yung 10% contingency na tinatawag ito? Ang 10% contingency ay ginagamit natin in case na magkaroon ng fluctuation sa increase or sudden increase ng ating mga ingredients. Okay? So, kapag nagkaroon ng sudden increase ng mga ingredients, eto na. Okay? Hindi tayo mahihirapan na mag-a-adjust ulit ng recipe cost kasi meron tayong naka-backup na 10% contingency. So, 10% contingency on the total cost is about to include dun sa total raw cost natin. Next is what we call the food cost percentage. Ang food cost percentage natin is normally is 35% food cost. Pag sinabi nating 35% food cost, ito yung 35% food cost. Ito dito na natin malalaman kung ano ba yung mga direct expenses natin tsaka indirect expenses. Okay? Indirect expenses. Yan. Tsaka direct expenses natin. Pag sinabing natin direct expenses, okay, ito yung mga ingredients cost natin. Okay? Ito yung cost natin para sa labor natin, sa mga kusinero natin, cost para sa mga server natin, cost para sa mga cost ng labor cost natin. So, that's what we call direct expenses. Indirect expenses naman, these are the cost na pangbayad natin ng rent, pangbayad natin ng utilities, pangbayad natin ng gas, ng communication, and other expenses. So, hahatiin natin yung 35% na yan. Okay? Yung 35% na yan, ikaw ang mag-aalat kung saan mapupunta. Okay? Kung saan mapupunta yung food cost percentage na yan. Ilang percentage meron sa labor mo, ilang percentage meron sa mga utilities mo, and sa indirect expenses mo. Halimbawa, gagawin mo ay ang direct expenses mo ay 20%. Okay? Halimbawa lang 20%. Tapos, ang indirect expenses mo ay 15%. So, yung 20% mo, ito yung mga labor expenses mo. Okay? Tapos, ito yung labor expense. Yung 15% mo, ito yung pambayad mo ng gas, ito yung pambayad mo ng electricity, halimbawa, ito yung pambayad mo ng rent, and pambayad mo ng mga other expenses. Okay? Yung other expenses mo. Yan. So, hahatiin mo siya. So, ito yon, yung 20 and 15% to get the 35% food cost. But nowadays, hindi na umaabot ng 35% food cost. Umaabot ng mga 40% food cost nga. Okay? Because of the price volatility. Next is, yung tax natin. The taxes, which is included sa mga businesses, is ini-include din natin. Okay, ini-include na rin natin doon sa ating gagamitin. So, ano ba 'yon? Ano ba yung taxes na 'yon? So, ito yung mga 12 multiply by 1.12. Kung kanina multiply by 1.1 kasi 10%. Ito naman multiply by 1.12. Pag na-compute na natin yung 35% food cost natin. Now, so, kapag na-compute na natin yan, meron tayong tinatawag na price per serve. So, this is divide the total cost with the contingency. Ito yan. The food cost and the tax. Okay? To the total number of yields or servings. So, kung ang number of yields of servings natin ay 1, ang nakalagay dito. So, kung meron tayong for example, 12 slices. Nakalagay din doon, di ba? So, kung gagawin natin tong 12 slices, So, magkano mo ibebenta per slice yung banana bread? Ayan, so malalaman natin. So, per slice daw, okay, ng banana bread, pwede mo siyang ibenta ng 28 pesos and 30 centavos per slice. So, ngayon, yung selling price mo, ikaw ang magde-determine kung i-adjust mo ba ito sa desired whole number or desired decimal number. So, for example, ang selling price ko ngayon ay 28.99. Ayan. Kuha. So, tubo pa rin ako. So, 28.99. So, tubo pa rin ako. So, ito yung price ko. Ito yung selling price ko. Per slice nung cashew banana bread na yan. Or, pwede kong sabihin na 30 pesos. So, flat. Pwede ko siyang ibenta. So, may tubo na ako. Okay? From the 28 pesos, may tubo na akong 2 pesos. For example. Tapos, may tubo pa rin ako dun sa contingency. Kasi not all the time naman nagagamit mo yung contingency. But sometimes, nagpa-fluctuate yan. So, hindi lahat ng ingredients mo ay tumataas at bumababa. So, sometimes, nagiging stable lang siya. So, panalo ka pa din. Tapos, yung food cost mo, so, tandaan mo, yung food cost percentage mo, pambayad mo, yung pambayad ka ng labor. Kung ikaw yung gumawa nun, babayaran mo yung sarili mo. Okay? Kasi ikaw yung nagluto niyan eh. May pambayad ka ng gas, may pambayad ka ng electricity, may pambayad ka ng rent, may pambayad ka ng other expenses. Doon na pupunta yung tinatawag na food cost percentage. So, that is the 35% of it. So, what is the beauty of this one? Ito yun. So, makikita mo kung magkano ba talaga ang lalabas na presyo. Okay? Magkano ba talaga ang lalabas na presyo for one specific recipe or one specific na standardized recipe. Kasi nga sabi nga natin, di ba, ang standardized recipe ay ginagawa ng mga restaurant owners, ng hotel managements, okay, o ng mga catering services, o mga food outlet natin. Ito yon. Ito yung paggawa ng tinatawag na selling price and food cost percentage. Kuha po ba? Next. So, hindi pa natatapos doon kasi etong standardized recipe, ito yung magiging kopya ng mga empleyado mo. Ito yung magiging kopya ng mga chefs. Okay? So, kapag naging kopya ng mga chef to, kailangan makita nila ano ba talaga yung presyo. Okay? At kung paano siya ginawa. Again, so, yung detailed procedures, kukunin mo lang dito. Yan. Kunin mo lang dito. Yung procedures na yan. Then, lilipat mo lang dito sa detail. Gagawin mo siyang detailed. Kung ito, medyo mahaba. Okay? Gagawin mo siyang detailed. Okay? So, parang in a layman's point of view. So, parang ganito lang. So, number 1 mo is preheat the oven. Okay? Preheat the oven to, ang nakalagay doon ay 350 Fahrenheit to 350 Fahrenheit. Tapos, grease the pan with the size of 9.5. Okay. Tapos, grease the pan size 9.5. Ayan. Tapos, next na. Okay. Gagawin mo lang siyang detailed. Okay. Napaka-short period lang nito. Okay. Cooking methods, time, and temperature. So, hanggat sa matapos mo yon. Ito, pwede mong hindi buuin yung 15 o pwede kang magdagdag kung kulang. So, you have to insert lang. Okay. Or pwede kang magbawas. Okay. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung magagawa niyong mga recipes. Okay. Another one is yung cooking methods and temperature. So, paano ba siya? For example, of course, yung cooking methods na ginawa mo is baking. Okay. So, kung nakasulat dun sa recipe mo, ang kailangan ay sous vide. Okay. Isulat mo dito, sous vide. Kasi kailangan sous vide eh. Diba? So, kung nakasulat dun ay grill, okay, or hot water bath, kunyari, baking with hot water bath. So, ilalagay mo dito. Baking, cooking method, tapos hot water bath. Ayan. Kuha. So, next. Kung tools and materials naman, ano yung mga tools and materials na kailangan mo? So, you have the chopping board. So, anong chopping board yon? Green. Okay. Tapos, ano pang mga tools and materials na ginamit mo? Meron kang whisk. Diba? Tapos, meron kang mixing bowls, for example. So, lahat ng nandun sa recipe, kung ano yung ginamit mo. Okay. At tapos, yung last but not the least, ano yung equipment na ginamit mo? Of course, oven. Gumamit ako ng oven. Kung gumamit ka ng stove, ilagay mo, gumamit ka ng stove. Okay? O kung kaya, gumamit ka ng mixer, stand mixer. So, ilalagay mo dito. Stand mixer. So that, okay, sa isang tingin, makikita ng chef na, uy, ito yung gagawin ko. Ito yung mga tools and materials na kailangan ko. Ito yung equipment na kailangan ko. Ito yung cooking methods na gagawin ko. At ito yung procedures. Okay? So, ito yon. So, this is what we call the beauty of standardized recipe. So, ito yon. Ito yung standardized recipe na tinatawag. And, ganito guys, ibibigay ko sa inyo tong exercise na to. Of course, so, lagi nyo tatandaan, lagi nyo titingnan yung conversion table natin. So, pansamantala, sabi ko nga, because of the dry ingredients, kailangan actual kasi natin talagang gagawin to. But for the exercise itself, titingin muna tayo. Ito yung disclaimer ko. Titingin muna tayo sa conversion table. So, tingnan natin tong conversion table. Kung hinihingi doon ay 1 teaspoon o 1 tablespoon, tingnan natin dito. Kung 1 tablespoon yan, so dapat ito yung makikita kong conversion yan. Pero, on the actual itself, kapag ginawa na natin yung activity na to, talagang gagamit tayo ng weighing scale, gagamit na tayo ng mga measuring tools natin. Nakuha po ba? And I hope it is clear for you guys to write, okay, or to do the activity. So, hahanap lang kayo ng isang recipe na gusto nyong gawin. Then, i-transpose natin. Then, hanapin natin, ang mahalaga dito, mahanap natin kung ano yung market list natin. At matuto kayo ng gumawa ng categories ng market list nyo. At maisulat natin yung standard recipe. Okay? Maisulat natin tong standard recipe patungo sa standardized recipe. So, again, so this will be an activity. So, papasa ko to sa inyo sa susunod na araw, and I will post this one on the G-Class so that everyone will know that they will be passing and they will be doing this kind of activity at home. So, thank you so much, and I hope na may natutunan kayo. And if you have some questions, just message on to the group chat natin para malaman ng mga kaklase nyo kung ano yung gagawin. Please, no personal message. All goes to the GCs para iisa yung mga batuhan natin ng inquiries. Nakuha? So, this is how we make the standardized recipe, the standard recipe, and how we look onto the conversion table, and how are we going to make the what we call the market list details, or writing up the market list. Again, thank you so much, and have a good night and have a good day.